Nothing beats a first date on the water.
It was right on the ocean. It sounded like a romantic idea.
It's a dream come true. But just beneath the surface...
I just saw someone get on your boat.
...is a world of danger.
Stop!
This is a guy with a history, an extremely dangerous man.
If you're being taken by a sex offender, you're probably not going to survive.
I didn't know where I was. Help me! This guy is a maniac, and he could kill me.
In suburban Rhode Island, Sherry, a college English professor, is feeling like a co-ed again. She's just met an attractive stranger online.
He looked great. There was a picture of him with a big smile on his face, wearing a suit and looking very handsome. He responded right away. His name was Ronald Fisher. I'm a doctor with a big practice. The description was, very enticing.
Ron's not just a doctor. He's chief anesthesiologist at a major hospital. At least, that's what the internet says.
With online dating, there are significant risks. People can be whoever they want online.
Still, he's the kind of Dr. Feelgood Sherry could use right now.
I thought, who'd make anything up, first of all? And second of all, I trusted doctors, so I didn't have any concerns.
But her husband might.
Sherry had been married for years, and they had decided it was time to end that marriage.
I had filed for divorce. We couldn't relate to each other anymore. He was participating in things that I felt were impinging on our personal time.
Medieval battle reenactments, combat gear, and swordplay. Not every girl's cup of tea.
He was very much into his medieval club.
Which makes a handsome doctor look even better.
I thought a doctor would be the safest person in the world to date.
After days of flirting, the doctor makes his move.
He said, would you like to meet this weekend? We could go out to lunch. I know a really nice place in Portsmouth.
I would love that.
Going to the waterfront for a lunch on Saturday sounded like a romantic idea.
I can't wait. I'll see you then.
I told my husband I'm going on a date on Saturday.
Turns out Sherry's ex also has a hot date.
He was going off to his medieval society to do whatever they do.
If her ex has an axe to grind, will Dr. Ron be her knight in shining armor?
Hi, yes. Ron,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
I told him I don't know my way around Portsmouth at all.
And so he offered to drive her around.
That would be great.
He was very polite, gentlemanly.
So much.
My pleasure.
He still was good looking, and he was well dressed.
Sherry checked.
It was a nice feeling, that makes you feel young again.
So far, the anesthesiologist is putting her under.
Thank you so much for driving. I definitely would have got lost.
Ron was an extremely charming guy. He was funny, he was educated, and he wanted to show Sherry a good time.
He picked up on the fact that I liked the ocean.
Yeah, I really
So
liked it.
he said, did I mind if we make a pit stop And I said, no, I don't mind at all.
But they're way off the beaten path.
We were on a dirt road instead of on a main paved road.
Sherry doesn't know where she is. She's not from this part of the state.
This pit stop turns into anything but.
Here we are.
It was huge, with all different kinds of boats. At that point, he mentioned that he had a boat. He said, do you want to see it? I love going out on boats, and I love being on the ocean, so there's no question that I wanted to see the boat. This was broad daylight at a marina.
It's gorgeous.
And I felt perfectly safe.
Looks can be deceiving.
At any spot like this, at any marina, there are sometimes reports of crimes, burglaries.
Aren't you gonna lock the car?
Oh no, everybody knows me here.
He did not seem concerned about anything in the world.
Maybe he should be.
There were plenty of people milling about.
And one of them seems a little off.
At any marina, you're probably going to get some of that darker element.
I waved and smiled at this fisherman, and I noticed that he didn't say hello, which I thought was funny. Ron paid no attention to him.
Don't worry about it. I want you to see this.
Wow.
Sherry's dream date has just become a dream boat.
It was white, and it was 3 stories high. I wasn't really sure if it was his, to tell you the truth.
Right this way, my dear. Watch your step.
This is a huge boat.
Come on in. We call this the wheelhouse.
When Ron gets behind the controls, it's pure magic.
He actually operated it himself, and I thought, wow, he must really be smart if he can run this boat himself.
Smart and rich.
This is the formal dining area.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, well, we spared no expense. Dr. Ron's boat was extremely impressive. Finest china you can get, all imported. This is an imported Persian.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's got a good touch.
Had a full kitchen, a living room with wood paneling, a chandelier. Encrusted with gemstones and mother of pearl.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought, this is really nice.
Maybe a little too nice.
Would you like to take the wheel?
I would love that.
You could go really far out to sea in a boat this big.
Like this.
Great.
Far from land. Sherry and Ron's romantic cruise is about to hit rough seas.
The weather had changed completely. It was gray, the wind was blowing, there were white caps all over the water.
Hey, the weather's really starting to turn out there.
As much as I love the ocean, I have a healthy fear of the ocean. And people who grew up in the ocean also know how dangerous it can be.
They've beaten the storm, but they're not off the hook yet.
God, this place really cleared out.
Anytime the weather turns bad quickly in New England, people get off the water as quickly as possible. It's not the kind of environment where you want to be outside.
There was no one else to be seen there on the dock or in the parking lot.
Except for one guy. But Ron's in no hurry to go ashore.
Could I show you something? It's my prized possession.
All right, and then we get something to eat.
Absolutely.
All right.
So then we went towards the back of the boat, and that opened into the bedroom.
I want to show you something that means everything to me. I never loved anything so much.
God, they're so...
And he held this picture of his two girls. And I laughed, and I said, oh, gee, that's just like my sister and me.
They're my whole world.
Oh, my God, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, the younger ones, I guess she looks a little like me. Huh?
That was one thing that he hooked me on. You know, a person who's very involved with their children, to me, is an attractive person.
But things get ugly.
It happened in a split second. Suddenly, he pushed me backwards. He took his right hand and stuck it up under my sweater.
Stop! Stop!
I yelled, stop! And I expected him to stop. And when he didn't stop, I was just stupefied. I thought, what the hell is this guy doing?
He was a lot bigger, a lot stronger.
And he's having his way.
Stop! Stop!
I didn't fight him anymore because he could kill me, drive this boat out halfway to Block Island, and throw me overboard, and no one will ever know what happened to me.
In Sherry's mind, at that point, it was a matter of life and death.
All of a sudden, I felt really tough. I said, if you feel sorry for yourself, you really are going to be chums, so get with it. I thought, what makes him tick? All he did was talk about everything he owns and how much it costs. And I thought, he's greedy. He's totally greedy.
Ron. Ron.
I decided to make him think that somebody was breaking one of his toys.
Ron. I just saw someone get on your boat.
And his boat was the symbol of his power.
It was incredibly smart.
Someone just got onto your boat.
Okay.
He fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
You don't move.
He jumped up and started running up to see if anybody was touching his toys.
She had a very, very small window to escape. And that's exactly what she did.
I jumped up. I got my sweater fixed, and I just ran the hell out of there.
Ron's not about to let his catch off the hook.
He could already see that there was nobody there.
So close to a clean getaway, but not so fast.
Somebody had pushed the rolling stairs away from the boat.
She had a 10-foot drop from the boat to the dock.
The wind was blowing towards the boat, so the boat was listing away from the dock. I'm a good swimmer, but it's not safe to jump into shallow water. It's a good way to break your neck.
She has no other choice.
I thought, I'm gonna have to jump. There's no other way.
Sherry! Stop! Watch your step.
What started as a dream date
Stop! Stop!
has become a gruesome nightmare.
Ron, I just saw someone get on your boat.
But Sherry's quick thinking
Don't move.
She was able to distract him.
has outwitted the doctor.
Damn it.
Now, there's only one way out.
Sherry! Stop!
I thought, I'm gonna have to jump. There's no other way.
Sherry jumped from the boat.
And through the grace of God, I made it.
She's not out of the woods yet.
But I did not feel home free. I thought, now I have a chance to escape. The place was deserted. It was getting dark, and I thought, this is the last place I need to be alone in the dark. That's when I took the phone out.
Sherry tries calling for help, but can't get a signal.
There are a lot of spots in that area that don't have cell service.
There was nobody around.
Almost no one.
Sir, can you help me, please? Something's happened.
I don't know if he knew Ron, or if he'd seen him bringing other women on the boat. I just prayed that he would help me.
Lord, please, help!
And he sort of looked me up and down, and to my disbelief, he said,
Lady, I'm busy.
I couldn't believe it. I don't know what he thought of me, but whatever he was thinking, he wasn't going to help me any way, shape, or form.
She needs a new plan. Now.
She didn't have anywhere else to go. She didn't have her own car there. She was stuck at this isolated marina without any vehicle, without anyone willing to help her.
So I just kept going towards the parking lot of the marina. The only thing I could see was the car that Ron brought me there in.
Are you gonna lock the car?
Oh, no, everybody knows me here.
The unlocked car. Maybe he left the keys in there as well.
I jumped in, then I got really panicky.
Oh my God.
I was looking for the car keys.
Ron is closing in fast.
I looked around the car, like around his seat.
Where are the keys?
Looking for these? Move over.
He starts driving along a somewhat deserted area near that marina. You know, there's water on one side.
If you're being taken from point A to point B by a sex offender, you're probably not going to survive point B.
I thought maybe he thinks he's gonna kill me here and throw me into these rushes.
Where are you taking me?
All of a sudden, I felt a surge of anger, really like a wave of anger just come over me.
And it's at that point that she breaks out her cell phone.
But there's still no signal.
Her options are really limited. So she chooses to bluff.
If you don't take me back to my car right this instant, I'm calling the police. All I have to do is push send.
He was really angry.
Now he's at risk. Now he's in less control.
Are you listening to me?
And she's challenging that.
Take me back to my car.
But he's in control of the wheel.
For exclusive footage, go to investigationdiscovery.com. Sherry's daring escape from an attack on a boat
Sherry, stop!
has taken a deadly detour.
Looking for these?
I thought maybe he thinks he's gonna kill me here and throw me into these rushes.
Her only hope is a cell phone with no signal.
So So she chooses to bluff.
If you don't take me back to my car right this instant, I'm calling the police. Take me back to my car.
In retrospect, I am surprised that he took me back. He started pretending like nothing had happened.
Finally, the nightmare is over.
Hey, let's see a movie sometime.
I couldn't even say the words myself, but he just looked at me and he said, Sherry, did you get raped? And I said, yes.
On multiple levels, it must have been extremely difficult for Sherry's ex to hear about what had happened.
Son of a bitch.
He said, I'm so sorry. He said, we have to report it. My husband, whom I was divorcing, is the one who helped me go through the reporting.
Doctor.
He did still look out for me.
Hours later, detectives are on the line with the state medical board.
I need some information about Dr. Ronald Fisher.
I heard the man on the other end of the phone say, oh, what's he done now?
Turns out, this wasn't Ron's first date on his boat.
Years earlier, in a very similar situation on his yacht, he had done almost the exact same thing. As a result of that, he lost his medical license.
Dr. Ron Fisher is arrested on 3 counts of sexual assault. But that same day, he's released on bail.
I was very relieved to hear he'd been arrested, but I was horrified that he was let out on a very paltry bail.
During the trial, Ron was starting to liquidate his assets. He actually sold the boat, which was his prized possession. He was preparing to run away. And that's exactly what he did.
Ronald Fisher is a fugitive.
The jury deliberated for 3 days and ultimately convicted Fisher, even though he wasn't there, of first-degree rape. He was convicted on both charges and faced 2 life sentences.
But he hasn't served a single day.
His not serving any time for having raped me is not just a second assault on me, it's a second assault on every woman he raped.
And until he's caught, her date from hell will never be over.
You want to get it clean, but it's like Lady Macbeth, you know. You can take 1,000,000 baths and do whatever you want and put all the soap and perfume on, but you never feel perfectly clean again, ever.